The purpose of this podcast is to give an example of what your in-class notes from this week might look like. First, the notes are dated. Always helpful to date things. Second, they're organized. Not everything is written over here. You have the main idea, then indented a little bit, main idea, indented a little bit. How I knew to do that if I were a 7th grade student was by how the teacher designed the lecture and the presentation that went with it. So here the teacher wrote quick facts, and down here some results. So as a student, that clued me in to the structure that the teacher was using, and I incorporated that into how I took notes. Also, suppose there's something that the teacher said you didn't quite get. Well, A, you could certainly raise your hand and ask, or just in your own notes, write a couple of question marks. That's a clue to you that you need to fill that in, either by asking the teacher afterwards, asking another student, any other resources you might have. So use notes like that. Also, shorthand. Practice shorthanding. There are several examples. For instance, United States are, that's the delta sign in math, which means change. So I use that all the time in my note taking. So United States are changed to is as a result of the Civil War. So using symbols to speed up my note taking without losing effectiveness. Also, you'll notice I left the last couple lines blank. This is good for a couple of reasons. One, the next major point that came up had a good bit of information, so it all would not have fit. So instead of trying to cram it all in down here or even just starting it down here, I made a decision quickly on the spot to just leave those last couple lines blank and to go to the next page. Also, having extra space down here could be helpful to you. Say at night you're reviewing your homework and there's other ideas or other information that you think of that's associated with this that may be helpful for you to write down. Maybe even some questions that you have the next class. You now have this space down here that you've left for yourself to do some additional note-taking after class. This is page 2. It is also dated, and P2. Not as important but if you have loose leaf that's not in a booklet like this, and you were to drop your papers and they would get out of order, you'd be able to quickly put them back in order by doing this. So this is April 17th, 2018. This is April 17th, 2018, page 2. This is April 17th, page 3. So numbering your pages and just keeping organization of your pages. And again, leaving space. Don't cram. I am an environmentalist. I support the idea of not wasting our resources. But when it comes to learning and taking good notes, leaving yourself a little extra room and using a little extra paper to do so, I think is the way to go. The neater you are out here, the easier it is for your mind to bring that information in. And that's why leaving some space and not cramming can be very, very helpful for your learning. And again, using symbols and things of that nature to cut down and to speed up my note-taking and yet not lose effectiveness. So this is what my notes would have looked like from the in-class lectures that we did this week on the Civil War. Yours may not look exactly the same, and yours could be outstanding but look different, and that's fine. But do consider, A, neatness, organization, leaving space, dating, and remember, your homework is always, whenever you do in-class notes, leave this side blank during class, so this side should have nothing written in it as you go to leave class for the day. But for homework, you're going to write self-quiz questions over here that you will use to quiz yourself later and to learn the information. Once you have good self-quiz questions, then you can cover this side up, ask yourself your own questions, and either answer them in your mind or actually write the answers out, and then double check to see if you have remembered correctly, and double check to see what it is that you still yet need to learn. Self-quizzing is a very good strategy, and this is one way to go about doing it, by formatting your in-class notes in this manner.